Hey,
Yes, kill the golem.
kill the golem. So with that,
Yeah,
just while we gone, Tesh discussed that Virik went up to the room where the button needs to be pressed, which is up here, and is basically readying to open the door. Maybe after 5 minutes of Barut like writing things down and but being like, no, seriously, there's a door, and we have the mechanism to open it.
Well, he said in the conversation before, like, so we need to figure out how to open this door. I'm just going to point at what I was like trying to explain before. It's like, I have it. I can open it anytime.
Okay. Then in that case, we need to plan how we're going to actually deal with this, because these creatures are waiting for us. They are going to ambush us. And I am probably going to die if we don't plan this properly. So I would like to plan this properly.
I agree. You said they're waiting to ambush us, and they can hear us out here, so they know we're here. But they don't know how many of us there are. I should aforemention I'm like saying this in a low.
Yeah. I assumed.
I'm just
They
like,
can
all
hear
right,
your
they
presence,
don't know
but yeah.
there's 3 of us, and they don't. But yeah,
Who knows if they speak, common.
I mean,
Elven.
Yeah.
sure, but we also don't know if they don't. But anyways,
Exactly.
yeah. So we know that they're waiting to ambush us. We know that they know that we're here. So what if we open the door and try to counter ambush them? And I will kind of like move over here.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be at the door to open it. It's a mechanism.
Right. So if Virik opens the door,
All right.
and I stand here, and he stands there, and we prepare our weapons to strike as soon as they come in.
Yeah, you want to do like a prepared action to attack them as they become.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, and try to catch them off guard.
I've changed my mind. I'm going to be on this side.
Is
Is this like kind of? Is this?
It's like
on-
rock and rubble and the
'cause
stalagmites.
I'm trying to
and
like
things.
push myself up right against the rock as much as possible and be hidden-ish but not moving.
If you want to roll a stealth, you can roll a stealth.
Is it
What-
with disadvantage because I'm not moving?
Yes.
I have the
Can I-
best idea.
Can I nullify the disadvantage if I take my cloak and like try to drape it over him in such a way so it kind of
Not
blends
really.
in?
He already has a cloak that, I mean, admittedly doesn't blend in.
Fair enough.
The disadvantage is more not for the stealth of staying still. It's the stealth of if you move and stuff, and I do take that into account.
yeah.
But yeah.
Oh no!
So I've changed my mind about being stealthy because clearly this isn't working.
You have no idea it's not working.
Well, I'm banging against the rock, and
You are aware that you
Weird.
are loud and not very good at this. That is true.
I'm just gonna say I was trying to be stealthy. This isn't working. I'm just gonna stand out in front.
I was actually gonna say Virk's gonna move his dancing lights and put them all here.
Oh,
Yes. Like a
put
collection
all
of
his
them
dancing
around.
lights there, and then he's gonna stealth against the wall, get ready to press the button,
I'm gonna
and
just
prepare. Oh no! I don't know. I'm not. stealthy.
You press the button as a loud.
Oh, it makes a lot of noise.
And then you see the doors
I'm gonna ready my boomerang. My
very
boomerang.
quickly, almost impossibly quickly, open, swing wildly open, and then all of you roll initiative again. You will get attacks of opportunity with your ranged attacks before they get in view, but it's just sort of the.
like to note, I have readied my short bow.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh no!
I gotta click on the token.
Excuse me. We run a civilized show here. No talking with your mouth full.
It makes sense. I'm pulling
because
the button.
you're basically using your prepared actions. Everyone aside from Virik actually gets to prepare an action. You're kind of like boomerang, but like, oh, I really need to put the weight into this. You're not a dwarf. Yeah.
No.
And it's low down too, so you have to really like it's awkward. It's not pretty, but luckily you're
It's
in
in a little
darkness, so.
Yeah.
And then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Tobias gets a shot off. Barut gets a shot off. And what you see running into the room kind of looks like a humanoid newt or some sort of amphibious creature. Its skin is a sort of orangish color, and it's translucent. You can see its bones inside it. You can see its nerves. You can see where it's... Actually, it doesn't seem to have blood. You can see where all of its insides are. And it's this sort of orangey, sandy color is the best way to describe it. And in the inside, it glows a little brighter. And they're wielding these sort of... They look like they're made of stone. Scimitars and blades, and even have like kind of stone shields that are attached to them. Which, even though they're clearly stone, there's a level of craftsmanship beyond just most people's usage of stone weapons. Although you're in Slate Cove, stone weapons are incredibly unlikely. Unfortunately, both of you miss.
It's not a surprise.
I didn't want to interrupt you. Actually, was that supposed to be an advantage? Because I'm hidden.
Yes.
I
Both
just
of them would be an
didn't know.
advantage.
Oh, both.
You want me to just roll another attack roll or roll again with advantage?
Roll again with advantage. Actually, no, yeah, Barut, you wouldn't have been hidden because you were just standing there.
I was
Tobias
gonna say I was not in.
was with advantage.
Yeah.
So re-roll it.
Oof.
And that's still a miss.
Very cool.
Unfortunately.
Oh,
All right.
dear.
After that, it is actually your turn proper because these two run into the room and they're trying to look around and these arrows fly and they're medium sized, but they're probably around 4 feet tall. You know,
Right.
they're not they're sort of that mixture between small and medium, and small doesn't matter in 5e. And they kind of stretch up, and then they're maybe even 5 foot, like stretching their body up and like looking around, trying to work out where the fire's coming from. The one closest to Barut figures out where Barut is pretty instantly, because I mean it is dark, but they do see you. And the other one is still looking around. So Tobias,
Yeah. I'm gonna shoot at this one right here.
that one's
And,
looking at Barut.
Okay, and here we go.
Here we go. You fire, and as you fire, you aim for the head. As you fire, it sort of slinks back down again. It goes, it's like, and again in that Terran, just a sort of like, humans, filth. Of course, do you guys just hear like a...
Very cool. All right, I am also going to move.
Uh-oh.
Where, you ask? Well, let me tell you.
Oh, I love D&D. Here's the plan. Here's the battle plan. One turn into the plan. Fuck. Shit. What are
We're
we
gonna
to do?
call that a boom, bam, bam, boom, boom, boom. All right.
Oh my God.
So remember, this is a wall as
fucking
well.
hell.
So you've essentially just gone off out of sight of them.
Exactly.
Cool.
I want to make it as difficult for them to do anything effective
Yeah.
as possible.
Gotcha. And
my
they're
thinking
pretty
here.
successful putting a wall between you and them. Virik. Your turn.
Okay. I have 5 versus 20 though. Is that?
yeah.
okay,
it's
she's
5
gone.
right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Then I will throw my boomerang at this one. Oh no.
You throw, it actually like raises its shield and it goes. You still get
now
to
I
try
have to
and catch
catch
it.
it.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be much harder to catch. Oh! I do
Jump,
catch it.
catch. If you don't know how boomerangs work, they are an Ollie homebrew. They are harder to catch if you miss.
Yep. So then I'm gonna move this way. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah,
5.
and remember that's a 5-foot drop, which
Actually,
essentially, as an adventurer, you can do without worrying about it. If you ever do
wait.
need to drop off there.
Here, I think. Yeah.
Sweet.
And that's my turn.
It is then Barut's turn.
Yep.
He's gritting his teeth a little bit here. This has not gone to plan. He's gonna put his bow down, just drop it, pull out the shield so he's not useless.
Now remember, equipping a shield is a full
Yep.
action.
That's my whole thing, and I'm just gonna bang on the shield. Basically, get their attention to come this way because I'd rather have them coming to Virik and I than to Tobias.
Yeah.
Plan did not go well.
It was a perfect
What plan?
plan until everything went terribly.
What's your armor class?
15 now that I put the shield on.
It runs, and you put the shield and you bang it, and this thing runs, and then sort of runs on all fours with the shield in its hand, with the weapons in its hands, and then kind of like slices at your legs, and actually will hit you.
Oh.
For 4 slashing damage.
Okay.
Its
Okay.
friend is going to run after Tobias.
That's fair.
And again, like running all fours
Oh my
like a
God.
slight beast. Those of you with good dark vision, aka Virik and Barut, you can tell they're kind of leaving this trail of sand behind them. And actually one more in the room.
Oh, good.
Oh, because we were dying.
And Tobias, your turn. So this thing's charging up.
So he
to
spent
you.
his turn getting up to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
spent his entire turn charging. Kind of had to look for you while he was doing it and stuff like that.
Well, how about? Whoops.
Don't worry, you pass.
All right. That's yeah. Spice isn't that wise. I will drop my bow, draw my short sword, and say, "You want to pick a fight with me, you bastard?" And I'm gonna try to stab him.
He is a Viking. That's
Ooh.
definitely a hit.
Perfect.
That's
And
real good.
That's gonna be a short sword.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. It still like sort of stays up. Like you stab this thing, maybe you expect it to bleed. It kind of just goes straight through, and you pull back, but it leaves this like sort of garish like hole, like wet sand or something when you sort of like jam something into it. It kind of like even looks down like as it starts sort of oozing. It's oozing. It's not bleeding. It's very strange.
Perfect. All right. That's my turn.
All right, next up
stand
is Virik the Variculus.
Okay. Virik is going to run down here. Well, he's leaping from here to
Yeah.
here, and while he's landing, he's stabbing into it with the short
Oh,
sword.
yeah.
Now, this is an advantage, right?
Yes, because you're flanking.
Good.
That is a hit.
Okay, and then he's hitting that.
Okay.
And then immediately, so he stabs it into the back of it, and then he's going to punch him off the sword.
Yeah.
He's wedged it in him, and he's going to punch it off the sword.
Nice.
That is a hit. And that's real good damage. You do that, and I even imagine Barut's there, and he kind of push up the shield, so the thing like launches back, stumbles into the shield with like a doom, as like its skull hits the back of it, and it's like, and again it's that sort of oozing and very injured, like kind of grabs at its side with its shield arm. It's got this big webbed hand, like
Ugh.
it's even oozing from its mouth. Next up is Barut, actually.
Well, I'm gonna attack this thing with my longsword, and that's with advantage. Yes. Good.
That's a hit.
Thank goodness for the advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flanking's
And-
really strong, which is why I have different mobility rules. You sort of graze the thing as it's trying to like reposition itself.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And then it is going to attack at Virik
Yep,
Thank you.
that's fair.
and at hand hit. I haven't missed yet. At all.
No, you
Uh,
haven't. We've noticed.
Soz
It hurt.
boys. And it's
It
actually
hurts.
going to just like and like sort of stab you in the side for a full 5 damage.
Oh, ow.
This one
Okay.
against Tobias is going to try a very similar play, but you, with your sword out, are a very quick, very deft person. It's like and just misses completely. Even like its sword clatters against the ground because it's pretty big compared to how small the thing is. And that's when you guys are aware of the other one coming in. This one has some seems like maybe it's in charge. It's got like beads and teeth and stuff around its neck. But still very similar like the others.
Oh, dear.
kind of smelling the air. You might smell Tobias. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to use my bonus action to pull out my other short sword.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
And I guess, is it a bonus action?
It's a free action because you didn't have anything in that hand.
Right, okay. So then I'm going to pull out my other short sword and attack him twice.
Mm-hmm. You know how offhand attacks work in 5e, right?
Yeah, it doesn't add the stat, right?
Bats
Yeah,
first,
okay.
that's a hit.
First. Okay. So that's going to be 9 piercing damage.
Oh, you don't even get to swing the second sword. Well, you do, because it would happen at the same time.
Yeah.
But, like, that first attack, just, like, right to the neck. Just, like almost pulling out the other sword was, like, a distraction, because it's looking at the other hand, and you're like... it's like... and, like, its tongue rolls out of its mouth. Really long tongue. And you probably use the other sword to, like, push it away, and it just flops onto the ground. Motionless.
Yeah, I'll like use the other sword like and hit him on the head with the pommel to like push him out. Then I'll like take the sword and throw it in the air so it's like upside down in one hand, and then I've got the other sword like proper, and then I'm gonna just run over towards my friends here, and I will go there.
Tobias is credit to team. All right.
Yeah. Damn.
I mean, at this point, I've just abandoned the bow and we're just going like full Viking
Melee ranger. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's a good time.
Sir, yep. Eric just being stabbed. Just go, stab it right back.
Can't believe you've done this. That's a hit.
Yeah. Fuck you, stab.
Yeah, and it's like a hack. It's like a stab kind of into its chest and like shake it off, and its body like flops into that like engraved area. Similar to the other one, its tongue flops out and its body is dead before it hits the ground because it's just completely lifeless. Like,
Yep.
It's great.
And I'm going to move up here.
Right. Barut, who's planning his attack. As you are maybe even walking up, because Barut is not like a runner, like walking with maybe some pace up the other guy. You hear it in Terran, the last mute be like, "This will be meaningless. The earth moves. It wants what it wants." And then I imagine you're gonna stab it while it's talking.
I'm actually not gonna stab it. Well, that was with advantage. I botched it.
You had disadvantage as well because you're in melee.
Yep.
But you could have shot it before you walked up if you wanted.
I clicked the wrong thing anyway.
I felt like you probably did. You want to be doing a different thing.
I wanted to do this one, which didn't hit anyway.
Unfortunately, you go up and there might even be like a little bit of magic around your hand as you go to reach at it, and it's like and jumps back quite a way. Disappointing.
Ooh, fuck.
But trust me, when that hits, you'll be a happy chappy.
Oh,
But it just never hit.
Yeah. Okay, and then it is going to attack at you. This one, I actually does have different equipment. I'm sorry. It has a quarterstaff, which similar to sort of tribal. Yeah. It's not enough to make your 9 hit.
No, it would have changed my decision about what I was doing, but that's okay.
And it has sort of like jangly rings and metal of here. It actually looks like the metal probably belonged here. And it's just gonna try and whack you.
It's gonna like hit me, and then I'm gonna go down to a quarterstaff, and I'm gonna be sad.
No, actually, that's it. Literally by 1, it's like, and you're like, cling. Defend from the thing. Luckily enough, Tobias.
All right. I see my party members have dispatched the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea where Varric is.
Which honestly just gone
That's
into
the
darkness.
baseline, really. Is you just generally.
You'll get very used to that in the passing
I
months.
I'm assuming
He's just gonna disappear and reappear.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stand beside my. Actually, I'll just stand beside you. Come up, stand beside my friend here, and we're gonna try to stab him a couple.
You have to be.
Oh, because you're not using diagonals, right?
Yeah.
So I'll move here. Sorry.
So all good. You don't get advantage for flanking though. So
That is
and good. That
Is it
misses,
11?
but you got the second one.
Let's go with the second one.
Yeah.
All right.
So you
So
swing
this-
with the first one. It's clearly a creature that's seen combat before. Doesn't expect the left hand.
That's the stabbing hand.
That is very much a hit. The second one.
And that's going to be 6 damage.
Awesome. Just so you know, you can set up a separate offhand short sword attack if you wanted.
I will do that, yeah.
I've played a Dex Barbarian before with multiple weapons. Very, very good. And that literally, like, you just stab into the thing's side and it, like, just kind of roars out this kind of, like, noise. Almost like jangling its staff in, like, more anger. Virik, I can assume what you're going to do.
I'm going to move close enough to, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'm going to boomerang it.
Mm-hmm. Catarang.
Yep. Or boomer bang it. Oh, that's I didn't mean to do that at advantage. Do it normal.
Roll. Yep.
Boomer bang. Oh no, that was so close. Damn it. Okay, now I gotta catch it. Do I catch it? I catch it.
Yay! You're doing good with the catches when it comes to actual combat. So
yeah. So I just throw it. It like reflects it with the quarterstaff. I'm like, oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, whenever you miss, I imagine it's like a jump, like, oh.
Yeah, it is one of those, like...
So I've moved over to the other side here.
Mm-hmm. To flank.
So that I can hit it in the face with my longsword with advantage, I hope.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope.
That's a hit.
Thank goodness.
Like, you start running around it, and it's trying to, like, fight both of you. It's got its quarterstaff on like this. And it's almost maybe deflects like a couple of strikes from you before you like actually just slash it across the face, like, and it's like, ah. And you hear it be like, the elements will curse you. It'll be your end. I see it in the sands. And then it sort of like grips you, like going one hand to the quarterstaff, gripping you by the cloak, Barut. And it starts spitting this flurry of sand into your face from its mouth, like a... Give me a dex save.
I just need to stop clicking advantage here.
You get used to it. And you could also change the mode if you really want. So actually, it starts this flurry of, like, sand towards you and, like, fast-flowing sand scratching and biting at your face, and you managed to push your shield in the way, but you didn't stop yourself from all of it, and even then there's some sort of scattering past you, and it actually only deals 3 I guess it would be piercing damage to you, because you saved. And it rolled pretty badly on its attack. And that's its turn, so Tobias.
Alright, with both swords in hand, I'm gonna try to, like, push myself up off this rock behind me and just come down on top of him and like
yeah, like Drax.
Exactly, Drax style. So this is the first
Drax Ranger. You have advantage, by the way.
Oh right, okay. Sorry.
We've been so bad at that lately.
I know.
You're gonna take a couple of games to get used to it, especially how it works in Roll20 and just the way I do combat. Like that's a hit, real good.
Okay. So the first short sword is 7 piercing damage.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is 2d6 is 8 damage.
How do you want to kill this thing?
Yeah. Like I said, I just want to propel myself up behind him and come down with both swords, like one on either side of like his neck, basically, and then just like tilt them forward and tear.
Yeah. And its head like pops off and then rolls onto the ground, its tongue unrolling like the other ones, and then it's all quiet.
So you see Virik just like, oh, okay. Put that away.
I'm just gonna be lying here against this rock for a moment. If you'll excuse me, I'm just gonna take a quick breather.
So I imagine you sort of explore the following chambers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab my bow real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am also grabbing my bow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a matter of not time now because it's not combat, and I'm even gonna go.
Yeah,
back
I'm gonna stealth and then start exploring. Oh no, goddamn!
Mm-hmm.
I'm still gonna start like going over and exploring now.
You start looking
Because
around.
I don't know I rolled stealth
In there?
badly.
Well, exactly. You're just moving as quiet as you can. There's a couple of layers of the next chamber. It's very dwarven in its design. Although you are aware that it's almost like there's this tunnel, this tube of this old, maybe primordial tunnel, but dwarven construction in it. At the base of the chamber are forges that are lit, dwarven forges.
Look down. Is these stairs down or up?
They're down. Usually, if I put stairs on a map, although I've taken the map away for the viewers because there's no more combat in here.
Okay.
The dark side is down. That's usually what I try to do.
Okay. Do I see anything down there?
I am describing what you see now.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry. Is this?
Yes.
Is this? This?
Yeah.
Okay, I understand how it's laid out now. My bad.
Yeah. There's these dwarven forges that are lit, and maybe these creatures were sort of living off the heat of it. There's sort of camp. There's even a nest of a couple of eggs, actually. And then at the base wall, if you kept going in a completely straight line, I mean, there is this strange pit that goes down to maybe forever. You don't know. But there is almost like an altar with these standing stones that are floating just above the surface. And on the altar, you see almost like a point down, a couple of them, and it almost looks like some like stalagmites or tights or whichever one. I ask every time they come up. Like how water drops and makes something down below. Down below is a ley stone, and what looks like two sort of half-formed ones on this altar. It looks like whatever the altar's made up of helps the construction of this ley stone. You can see circles of magic when it's a sort of arcane magic is often written in circles and things. You don't recognize the language. Some of it's in primordial, but not all of it. And the primordial again... Actually, the primordial would spell out the word earth. But some of the other stuff is of a different language. It's actually the script that this primordial was written in.
Eric's gonna kick a small stone down into the pit.
It clatters for a bit, and then it's quiet.
Okay, don't want to go down there.
Rather we...
What is this marking on the ground here?
It looks like a camp or a nest or something. They've been living here. When I do maps, there's got to be a little bit of imagination to go along. This is a very lived-in space by those creatures. There's sort of hay on the ground. There's like a spent campfire. There's food. There's like actually a grilled beetle. There's some markings on the wall in that glowing beetle juice. Stuff like that. And the markings of the wall are in primordial as well. They appear to be typical sort of devoted, faithful sort of words of prayer almost.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Would I recognize that at all? The prayers?
Not the specific words, but you would recognize the words, but you wouldn't recognize it as a prayer.
Right.
As a specific prayer, you would recognize it as prayer, you know? You'd recognize that this is clearly, these creatures are devoted to this place. It's hard to tell what exactly they're worshipping.
Okay. That's more what I was wondering.
I mean, if you want to give me a insight, you can.
I can do insight. Check that I'm not doing anything with advantage. Good.
It appears these creatures were worshipping this place, but not just this place. What this place is. You don't know what it is, but we weren't worshipping the altar. That's got nothing to do with it. It appears they were worshipping the place itself. And they were, well, now you're thinking about it, probably elemental earth creatures. If anyone wants to do me a nature or arcana check to try and figure out what they are, you can. But perhaps they're...
No, so I'm not gonna...
Yeah, perhaps they're elemental earth creatures worshipping elemental earth in its almost rawest form, the power of the earth and its ability to change things. As you think around and do an arcana check, that seems to make sense to a type of elemental creature that you've read about, of these elemental newts. And they're linked to the elements. These would be stone newts or sand newts, depending on probably stone newts because they're in a sandy environment, and they are linked completely to elemental earth. They are elemental earth creatures. That explains why they were glowing, why they don't necessarily have a sort of biological meat body, but they're somewhere almost in between. There are other types. Fire newts are very common in volcanic areas and things, but this was Earth. Most likely, maybe even Laystone has something to do with it. I mean, that's some sort of Earth magic at a glance.
Can I have a look at those eggs?
They are probably the eggs of the things that you just killed.
Yep.
They're a
can I
similar
take
sort
one?
of color, and yeah.
I'm gonna take an egg.
Yeah,
I
this
think we
like
should definitely take all the eggs. Like, there's no reason to not take the eggs, right?
Sure. Let's just, murder their parents and then take all their
Well,
children.
you're monster
okay.
hunters.
From what I know about the natural
conscience.
world, which I don't know too much about the book learning side of things, and I'll gesture to your tomes and stuff, but when an animal is born in the wild with no parents, it's a fate worse than death.
Do we
So
know that
either
there are more of them? Do we know that they have no more community here? Have we explored this entire place? There's a stairway that leads down.
No, you walk down it.
That's
we did.
this area.
It's a lower floor.
Ah,
It looks
see?
like
Yeah.
sort of. So here's the thing that you're getting, Baru.
Mm,
Clearly, this is part of a bigger structure,
right.
but you can't find any way into the rest of it.
Okay.
But whatever this old thing was, is not just this part. It's probably the whole ring. It's this old, possibly primordial ruin.
in any case, taking the eggs back, if they don't hatch, then no harm, whatever. If they do hatch, wouldn't that give you an opportunity to study them and draw pictures and stuff?
I'm not really too worried about drawing pictures of natural beings. It's more how do communities work and how do they structure themselves. And in a purely synthetic environment for them, that's not something that I'll actually get any useful information from. That's like putting people into a cage and expecting them to behave like people.
True. But it would be interesting to see how people would react if you put them in a cage, wouldn't it? I'm just kidding, of course. But if they were to hatch and think you were like their parents, that could be a fun experiment for you. And I bet the eggs, at the worst case, they would probably taste pretty good. Actually, maybe not. They were made of sand and stuff, so yeah. Actually, you know what? We can let's just leave the eggs here. Actually, that's
I'm still gonna take one.
Yeah, you're like, let's just leave the eggs. And you're like, yeah, leave the eggs.
Wait.
No, you don't need to sleight of hand it. Like, I mean, with that sleight of hand, that's past all your passive perceptions. You do take it secretly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If the eggs, I'm not opposed to it. I'm just suggesting that we at least consider alternatives. But it's a meaningless thing. I'm not actually all that upset about it, as you probably noticed by the fact that I was perfectly willing to slice my sword into those creatures when they were adult.
Well, I mean, it's a lot easier to slice your sword into something when it's mauling at the front of your shield there. Mentally, I mean.
At this point, Brute still has his sword out, but he's gonna just put it away.
Yeah.
Just and I'm gonna start walking my way over to
To the altar and the laystone.
to the altar and the laystone.
So
Why we
laystone's, pretty hefty object.
Yeah.
Do you pick it up?
I want to look at it first. I know that Sorry.
Nah. Check.
I could do that. Yeah, I could do a little Arcana check. Oh, why were you? Why do I even roll?
You're looking at it, and you're kind of like a little annoyed at that comment, a little sassed out about that comment,
Mhm. Yeah.
and you're an elf. Elves have a lot of spite. So you're looking over it, but that's on your mind, that comment and all of that. I will. You do recognize what I said was trying to explain before, but not in so much detail because you're looking at it now. The script of the other language is the same script as what you've learnt to write primordial in. You don't know what that language is actually connected to. In Faerun, it's Dethic, which is the Dwarven script, but it isn't in Jarviskjir. It is a different script, and it's the same, but it's not the same language. The writing structure is different. The words don't make sense. If it was primordial, it'd be a type of primordial you wouldn't understand.
Is it safe then for me to assume that whatever that language is could also possibly have been the...
Possibly. Yes. When my internet
Really
recovers
clear?
from pooping. Yes. In theory, yes.
Okay. I actually make note of that. But yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to turn to the others and say, well, I feel like garbage, and if this thing kills me when I pick it up, just bring my body back with you, huh? And I'm going to just grab it.
You grab it. There's a little bit of, like, suction to the thing. You have to sort of, like, go, like... And you even feel, when you touch it, you feel the sensation of holding a magical object. And that's kind of an abstract concept, because we would never understand that you're just holding a thing of power. Not obnoxious amounts of power. They're trusting you guys to pick it up, but still magic. And you cast spells, but you don't cast spells in a permanent state. It's almost like you have that feeling of when you were trying to cast Inflict Wounds in your hands, that sort of magical aura, but like in a very different way. But when you're holding it, especially when it was cemented down, you feel it. When you pull it away, it's a little weaker. But you do pull it away. It doesn't need a strength check or anything. You still feel it's a magical object, and you can probably put it in your bag to take it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to inspect the altar. Take a look at it, see if there's any mechanism for why it was there in the first place. Was it created there, or was it placed there, or...
It seems like it's making leystones deliberately. You don't know why the Greyfists use leystones yet. They just said it was important.
Right. Well, they said contact far away people.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, exactly. So you figure the leystones are connected in some way.
Yeah.
Something you do note is the altar is very big.
Okay.
I mean, the thing goes up maybe 30 feet as well, and those like sort of upside down sort of pyramid cone things that are sort of drip feeding the leystones are very big as well, and they also have symbols and stuff. Like imagine Breath of the Wild with the Sheikah towers. They kind of come down with all the language over it, slightly like that. And it's that same script that you're now not entirely sure is necessarily meant to be primordial all the time.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very big. And those like, sort of standing stones are not that. Are pretty tall as well. They're probably as tall as Tobias, but they're floating a little bit. They have the same symbols on as well. Some of them.
Okay. I'm going to have to figure out what that language is at some point. Learn it.
While he's doing that, can I investigate the area a little bit?
Give me just a solid investigation check.
Just have a look around, because I would have no interest in that.
Yeah, exactly. He's doing that. You're looking around. Tobias is probably doing this as well. Probably going over the creatures and seeing what they had on them.
Yeah, definitely gonna. If anything, I'm checking out the creatures to see what they were all
that's
about.
sort of, you're the ranger.
Yeah.
He's the
I'm doing
thief.
ranger stuff.
He's the mage. What they have on their bodies, they all have this stone skim. Two of them have stone scimitars and a shield. The other one has this quarterstaff, which has these metal rings and symbols and things on it.
Okay.
That's really all they had. Varric, while you're looking around, there's some craft objects of dwarven nature that might be valuable, but you're not entirely sure. You don't find a hidden area of gold or anything like that. If there was something valuable, it probably would have been taken already. But you are getting more and more of that feeling of this structure continues around the entire ring. This is only a part of it. And it is a little weird there doesn't seem to be other ways into it at a glance as well.
One thing I would like to do as well is strike a torch and drop it down this hole.
It goes down until you can't see it anymore.
Okay, it is deep.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, you just step away from the
Yeah,
hole.
Yeah, just take a step back.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a big hole. Anyways, I found this junk and I just
clatter it on the ground. All right, I think actually with that, why don't we stop it here for today? And next week you can be returning home as proud warriors and as Grey Fists. So, I hope you all enjoyed. We're going to start our Circle of Shame, where you get to talk about who you are, what you do, where you can find you, and we should all be here again next week. And we're starting with Dungeon Papa. Who are you? How are you? Where can they find you? All the things. You're new here to the community and to my stream in general, so please sell yourself. We're waiting.
That is me. I like your stance there. That's making me feel super comfortable, but no.
I like playing D&D. It puts me in a good mood.
Yeah, Dungeon Dad. My real name, believe it or not, is not first name Dungeon, last name Dad. It is Josiah. Yeah, I know. Josiah Ambrose. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about D&D stuff called Dungeon Dad. It's primarily made to be for DMs. I do Monster of the Week. It's a show where we find weird old monsters from old versions of D&D, and then I do 5th edition conversions of them and do stat blocks and stuff.
Do
and
some
then
cool like Dark Sun monsters because they've got some weird stuff in Dark Sun.
Do they ever? I'm running a Dark Sun campaign for my real life
acquaintances
and friends now. Yeah, so Dark Sun is a wicked setting, but yeah, that's what I do. That's my like main thing. And in addition, it's just like whenever I have the time and means to do so, just talk about whatever D&D stuff's on my mind, do campaign diaries, that kind of stuff. But the main thing I do is monster stuff. So if you like cool monsters,
I like cool monsters.
The place to go. Thank you. Yeah, that's primarily what I do. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to see weird pictures of signs in the place where I live. Like, that's not a joke, really. There's a Burger King that nearby me that they just put up a sign the other day because I guess the Angry King is a new type of burger. And it just says New Angry King.
New Angry King.
And I took a picture of it. I was like, this is a plot hook.
Yeah. I think I've run that before. All right. Next in the Circle of Shame is also new here, but you've been around the community's sort of tendrils. Tesh! Who are you? What's your stance on tendrils? And what do you do?
Iffy on the tendril thing.
There's a lot of tentacles in D&D. That comes up a lot in Monday because like one of the players got killed by like Evard's black tentacles. They're like, I don't want to ever encounter more tentacles. I'm like, sorry, there's just a lot of them. I'm not even trying. They just show up a lot.
Okay, I'm Tesh of the Tesh Tube on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Follow me in all the places for apparently more D&D content because I'm really getting into this and I love it. And Twitter for cat content because, you know, we all know why you're here. And yeah.
That's true. Awesome. And last and least, Will Winterbear. How are you? See, it's the thing. I'm meanest to the people I like the most. It's how it works. Yeah. Where can we find you, and what do you do? I know my internet cut out midway through that. Where can you find you? What do you do?
Twitch.tv/WinterbearGames. I'm working towards affiliate right now. Go check that channel out. I stream actually a surprisingly low amount at the moment, but that's getting more and more every
You just moved. You're trying to like adjust to new life, a new job.
It's the whole thing.
You changed everything at once.
I went from working basically like in a shitty marketing job where I like didn't have to work that much to working for the government of my province and like actually having to put effort in and wake up early and like I changed my whole sleeping schedule and just then it's a whole nightmare. But streaming content, twitch.tv/WinterbearGames. You can find me on Twitter at willgraham_WBG. Also, I'm
in the process of writing a book, so stay tuned. Because that more news on that when I actually know what the fuck's going on with it.
Keep your eyes and ears peeled, especially if you've got big ears like an elf. I'm Ollie. If you don't know me, I do all the things here. On this channel, I run another game on Wednesdays. That is a Stars Without Number game. What is Stars Without Number? It is like a generic space system, but I'm running... If you like the way I've run this game, where it's like a lot of focus on characters, a lot of focus on the world and where you belong, that is that game, and a lot of moral questions going on in a space game. They may or may not be pirates. Who knows? That is at 7 p.m. BST. I also stream nearly every day sometimes, around about 9 p.m. BST. Look down below. I'm either doing an art stream because I'm an illustrator. If you check my Twitter at olirant, I illustrate mostly scenes from Jarviskjir. It's a setting I've been creating for a long time, and I illustrate the monsters. I illustrate scenes from my Monday game that isn't streamed. And I often talk about that here as well when I'm doing art streams. And I'm on a bunch of other things. If I'm not doing an art stream, I'm currently playing No Man's Sky, actually because Tesh recommended it to me. And I'm really enjoying it, so good call. And I'm on other things like Lost Initiative on Thursdays, Scott's channel on some days, and a secret thing that's a secret. But you all know about it because Scott just likes to talk about secrets out loud to tease people. It's not teasing. It's not teasing to just say, I have a secret. That's not how it works. But anyway, that's that. We will be here next week at the same time, midnight BST. And I'm glad you enjoyed it because I love D&D and RPGs, but D&D has a special place in my heart. So, we'll see you next time. Say goodbye.
Bye.
It's been nice.